Further to that, Councillor Patterson.
Thanks, Mayor Bentley. I have something else under new business, and I have concerns with the upcoming AMO conference this August, and I'd like the opportunity to explain these concerns, and I will ask the clerk to explain the procedure of how this works under new business.
Through the chair to Councillor Patterson and Council. So we have the new business section on the agenda, 8.5 of the procedural bylaw. So any item of business which has not been previously considered by council can be brought up at this moment in time at this agenda item. Typically, when action is required on this item, we would refer it to the next council meeting. But if we have immediate action needs to be required, we can act on it at this meeting with 2/3 support of council. So we'd be waiving the notification requirements of the procedural bylaw to deal with the matter at this time.
Thank you for that. So I will make a motion that we waive the notification requirements of procedural bylaw for this matter, if there's a seconder to that.
I'll second it.
If I could just mention, it may be helpful for council to know what the matter is before they vote on waiving the bylaw.
No, absolutely, and I was going to get to that, but I had to get it on the floor first.
Motion. Sorry, you want a mover and seconder, and then you're going to explain. Okay, sorry.
So and can I move that, I believe? Because I did already and will second it. Or do you need a separate mover?
I would do a separate mover and seconder, please.
Okay.
Oh, I can second.
Okay.
So to the clerk, do we have the mover and seconder recorded?
I have the seconder. I do not have the mover.
Okay.
We call the vote.
Yeah, so the motion on the floor is to waive the procedural bylaw to deal immediately with an issue, but before council can make that decision, they need to know what the issue is. So if you would explain the issue, and then we'll do the procedural vote.
I can certainly do that. So I can give a bit of background, but don't read out the actual motion at this point in time, correct?
Yes, just something simple that states
Okay.
what you would like to discuss today, and then they will know whether they want to waive the bylaw or not to discuss it further.
So basically the gist of it came from, excuse me, from last year's AMO conference. Our local MPP attended several delegations and offered her support, which I was quite appreciative at the time. In hindsight, in reflection, going forward up to this coming year, noting that she's an independent MPP and her relationship with the Premier, I feel it would have a negative impact on our deputations and potentially on our funding requests on particular items such as we were talking about earlier this morning, the tri-party water agreement that we've been going after for at least 3 or 4 times that I've been to AMO. So that is basically the kind of the background of when I bring my motion forward and ask staff to draft a letter. That's kind of the background history. I think it would be more detrimental to the county to have her presence at our deputations, if that's enough background information.
So now we'll vote on the procedure, I guess. Chad, if you want to read that, please. Thanks.
That the 2/3 majority vote of council to waive the notification requirements of this bylaw to deal with this matter at this time.
All those in favor of waiving that? All those against waiving that motion? Carried 5-2. Go ahead, Councillor. Oh.
Just to confirm that at 5 would be 2/3 of council.
And And just for clarification to the clerk, do I need to make another motion to put
So
the
you,
motion on the floor?
yes, you, through the chair to Councillor Patterson, you would need to put a motion on the floor to direct to what you want to do.
Yes. Okay, so the motion that is penned is that Haldimand County Council directs staff to send a letter to the member of provincial parliament for Haldimand Norfolk stating that Haldimand County delegations with various provincial government ministries at the Association of Municipalities of Ontario are considered private, and that council does not wish the member of provincial government for Haldimand Norfolk to attend these delegations.
So now we open it up to discussion, or we just vote on this?
You need a seconder, I believe.
Mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor O'Neill, seconded,
I moved it.
and you're moved it? Okay, so we have a mover by Councillor Patterson, seconded by Councillor O'Neill. Discussion? Councillor Shurton.
Okay, finally. Yeah, didn't know this was actually coming, but I can definitely, as time allows, I can kind of appreciate where Councillor Patterson's coming from. And I guess it kind of, my understanding of the relationship is with the independent and with our provincial government and power. Knowing it is crucial to get the funding for the water, I think I can support this because I just can't see what good comes out of it. I know there's lots of social media happening out there that probably doesn't help reflect good on Haldimand at times, and I'm thinking like, where is this independent working for us? So yes, I can support this.
Councillor O'Neill.
Through the chair, just for clarification, is this just specifically for the meetings about the water, or is this for all delegations, and is it just for this AMO or going forward?
No, my intent was for this AMO and for any Haldimand delegations.
Councillor Traynor?
Well, then that would exclude the Six Nations from the water discussion. Why? Because he said Haldimand specific, just Haldimand. I'm not done yet.
Do you want a response? Okay, thank you. No, I don't want to get caught up in semantics. What I meant was the MPP to all Haldimand delegations. If I don't have that in front of me, if we applied for a three-party delegation with Six Nations and Norfolk on ourselves, they are more than welcome. I don't have that in front of me, Councillor Traynor, so I don't know who was invited to that delegation. I'm speaking specifically to our Member of Parliament.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want a clarification because I thought maybe I thought you said Haldimand specific. That's the part I caught. So I thought then that means Norfolk and the Six Nations could not attend the water issue. Okay. I just think it's a little bit of a slam to our MPP. She does represent us, and we do want her to fight for us or go forward with things that we want, and now we're saying, but we don't want you a party of our issues for the province.
Yeah, before we move forward to Councillor Lawrence, I just would like to add to that. Haldimand County elected Bobby Ann Brady as our MPP. Council, under section 224, the role of council is to represent the public. So I'm a bit confused. She is an elected official. She has stepped up to the plate and asked and supported us through this trilateral water issue. We have asked 3 or 4 times about this. She was not in power at that time. She's been, I think, to 2 delegations with us. So, and I know that she does have a good relationship with the Infrastructure Minister, Surma, because I have seen them interact in public, in person. So, again, very disheartening that this is coming forward. We do have, we still live in a free country where people vote us in. And whether you like that person or not, or whether she's an independent or not, she's still our elected official. And to have her shunned because you think that we're not going to get the funding. Doug Ford wants to build, we're certainly going to get the funding because he wants to pave over Haldimand and Norfolk. Councillor Lawrence.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. I think we need to look at a few things here. First of all, like whether you like or don't like our current MPP, she gets an A+ for effort. You can't fault her for that. But our system of government, the way it works, is working against an independent. I get it, she got elected and everything, but you got to play ball with the provincial government, whether we like them or not. And I know just as much as you, Madam Mayor, I've been shaking my head at some of their decisions that they made over the years, but you know, you got to play ball with them. And I don't know, I look to the situation that happened in Norfolk a couple of weeks ago where if she's got such a great relationship with the Minister of Infrastructure, why wasn't at least the minister let her know that she was going to be in Simcoe? I just asked the question because that doesn't make any sense at all. So when you're having these meetings and obviously it's antagonistic between our representative for the provincial government and the ruling government, then it's counterproductive to have her there. And remember, it's between the local councils at AMO and further on Roma to have those discussions with the representatives of the provincial government. So I think that that's the other thing that you have to look at. And then also our MPP does not support us at different times, whether you like the decisions or not. But we as a council before, not before yesterday, but we'd also voted democratically to support the MZO, and yet she went ahead and had a petition and was working against us, a decision that we made as a body. So that's not supporting Haldimand Council, in my opinion. That's an example of it. So I will support what Councillor Patterson is saying due to the system of government that we have right now and the current MPP's actions against Haldimand Council and decisions that have been made.
Wow. Councillor Metcalf.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. It was always my understanding that they had to be invited to attend our delegations to the ministers. I can support Councillor Patterson's motion to the fact, you know, Councillor Lawrence touched on some of it as well. Again, some adversarial situations that have taken place at Queen's Park. Like I say, it's a political game out there, and she has to be invited. That's and if not invited, then you don't go where you're not invited.
Councillor O'Neill.
Yeah, another question, just because someone, I don't know if it was Lawrence Patterson brought up, but we do have that meeting with the minister coming up. Is that something that she'll be attending as well? Because that would be happening before AMO, right? My calendar is correct. Yeah. Does anyone know? And Kathy, maybe you have more of an idea?
Yes, she has been invited along with our MP, Leslyn Lewis.
Yeah, that makes it a little tricky there, for sure. I mean, I don't even see why this is a surprise. I mean, like, the Premier said she's not gonna have a job. Like, I mean, there's clearly contentiousness.
Premier doesn't dictate if she has a job, the
I'm just sa-
voters do.
Clearly, I understand that, but I'm just saying, like, it just shows the amount of, contention there. And I mean, we've had other issues come before us that are being delayed, possibly a bridge in Caledonia, possibly. some
Bridge in
other-
Caledonia has been delayed for 18 years, it has nothing to do with Bobby Ann Brady.
I think you can speak after I'm done, because I do have the floor right now, but I appreciate that. Yeah, I think that, there's been rumors and things said over time about things that, get delayed because of political influence, whether we like it or not. So I don't think it's even that surprising or out of question Stu's request. But yeah, I do think that is gonna make it a little tricky in July. So that's might be something we wanna think about. That's just be my only comment there.
I can't wait till this hits the paper. Councillor Patterson?
Thanks, Mayor Bentley. Yeah, I just want to clarify an earlier comment that you made because I had to get in the queue. It's got nothing to do with personalities. That could be my best friend being the independent member of parliament. And you're talking about she was elected by the people? Absolutely, just as the 7 of us were elected. I was elected to represent the municipality. There's 3 different levels of government. So there is definitely a line in the sand, whether people agree with it or don't agree with it. I'm looking after the best interests in my mind for the citizens of Haldimand, and that's why this motion is here. And whether what hits the paper, whoever picks up whatever phone call to make a call to let people know, personalities be personalities, but that's the intention. And I'll leave it at that.
Well, with that, I will call the vote. All those in favor of Councillor Patterson's motion? All those against? Interesting. Disgusting, really. Thank you.